I love these bracelets. They don't require the use of glue because they come with these pockets on the sides where you can just insert the strips in. So first you need to make a template. I have cardstock here, a little stencil to show you about how big to make the strip of clay. And I've rolled this out, some swirl clay with translucent, very thin. I've added the cane slices, which takes a long time, but that's not what this video is about. This video is only about how to make the bracelets. It needs to be very thin. And this is how I make them shiny. I don't know if you can tell, there's a plate of glass. I got this glass out of a picture frame. Very, very carefully so that you don't get air bubbles. And you can even squish the clay around. You can absolutely move it against the glass. It's hard to see here, but I'm able to reposition everything the way I want it, form those butterflies the way I want them. Again, this is very thin. And then I put that stencil on there and slice it. It needs to be really perfectly fit to the bracelet. So that takes a while to make sure you're cutting it absolutely perfect. And here it is, it's been baked. Look how flexible, because it's so thin, this is how flexible it is and how shiny it is after having been baked. So now I just fit it into the bracelet. However, there will need to be some adjusting because it's almost impossible to get that perfect. So even though it's baked, I can shave off very carefully. This part I taper so that it's kind of pointed as it goes into the little pocket. But even at that, it might be too thick for the pocket, so you may need to sand it down to make it even thinner, especially there at the very end. All this is after baking. So now it's just thin enough to slide in. This one may be almost too short, but I think it'll stretch. It's better to make it too long than too short. You can always cut it off. There it is. I think it's just beautiful. But now we need to crimp those little pockets so that it doesn't fall out. So there's no glue. The only thing that's holding it in is those pockets. But if I crimp them, they haven't come out yet, no matter what I've done with my bracelets. Oops, it's upside down. There you go. These bracelets are lightweight. I'll tell you where to get them in the description. They are quite flexible. I mean, you want to be careful, but I love that I can fit it right to my arm. Again, nice and lightweight. Most of these canes, not all, the tutorials are on Patreon. So thank you very much to my patrons. Most of you are already patrons, but if not, this is where you can sign up.